when I was sending out the messages today, I said, hoping that it's going to be a nice conversation and a nice exposition. Why did I say it's going to be an exposition? Because the topic for today is the formula for sweetness and greatness. We are in the second day, technically the second day, because we have done this for 3 days. We'd had 2 days last weekend, but the first day was the introduction. So I call that day 0, and today is day 1. Today is day 2. Friday last week was day 1. So we're going to be looking at very quickly the formula for sweetness and greatness. Someone in the comments said she wanted to know what the concept of sugar and spice was all about. And basically, this is the crux. These session. Hello, sorry. I lost connection for a few minutes. So as I was saying, this is the crux of the whole program, the Sugar and Spice Mentorship Experience. So the teaching of today is the crux, and it'll be very, very vital if we can all listen to get the understanding or the background of this whole thing we call the Sugar and Spice Mentorship Experience. So like I said earlier, the title is the formula for sweetness and greatness, or the sugar and spice recipe. So a lot of times people hear this sugar and spice and they're wondering, where did it come from? Okay, so before I get into where it came from, there's this nursery rhyme that says, girls are made of sugar and spice and all things nice. I'm sure some of us are familiar with it. If you're not familiar with it, you can just Google it and you see the whole detail. And then for guys, they said boys are made of sticks and stones and something, puppy dog tails and something like that. And I didn't really particularly pay attention to what boys are made of. But when I looked at that line about sugar and spice and all things nice, I realized that the person who wrote this thing was not very far from the truth. Because at that point, you know, I was at the point where I was wondering. I was initially a tomboy, so when I was younger, I just felt like girls didn't have so much fun. Boys were having all the fun. They could jump around, they could play. But every time they look at me and say, be a girl, stay one place and all that. And it seemed restrictive. So what I usually say is that I found out that my inclinations as a person, you know, my inclinations as a woman was conflicting with my aspirations as a person. So I wanted to aspire to be something, but I felt, okay, there's something you can aspire to be that is not cut out for women or is not cut out for men. And that kind of conflict kind of like affected me until I began to understand that what makes us unique as women is actually what makes us great. It's actually what makes us stand out. There are things about us that have been factored into our DNA as women, or factored into our makeup as women, that can make us, you know, that cause us to stand out. And that standing out is not just about who we are, but what we can do. And so when I began to research, I started discovering so many things about women, so many things about the makeup of a woman that blew my mind. And I was like, okay, I'll spend my time, my whole life, helping other women understand that, look, these things that make us unique actually make us great, actually we can stand out as women. So what's the idea? What's the objective of this? For you to discover what your sweetness is and for you to uncover your greatness. So what is the sweetness? The sugar is talking about sweetness. The spice is talking about your greatness. So as a woman, there's a makeup of you. As that author said, is sugar and spice and all things. There's something about us that makes us special. And so, you know, based on the theme or the objective or the outcome that we're looking out for you to activate your potentials, for you to build or unbalance your personality, and for you to clarify your purpose. All these things tied to understanding your sweetness and, you know, discovering your sweetness and uncovering your greatness. So what makes you sweet? What makes you great? What makes you a woman? What makes you a woman that is not just a woman who is nice, who is calm, who is loving, who is all this, you know, the sugar, the sweetness part, but you're also a woman of impact? What makes that combination? How can a woman have it all, in quotes? Because sometimes they ask, can a woman have it all? Can she achieve that balance? Can she be here and there? Yes, she can, but there's a way to be that. There's a formula to bring out that uniqueness that makes us women. So what is your makeup? You know, we've talked about what the nursery rhyme that inspired this whole concept is, how we're sugar and all things nice. So that portrayal is not far from the truth. So what is our makeup? What makes us up? Sugar, when we look at sugar and spice, and we're looking at it as in our personality as women, what does sugar portray, or what does it entail? Sugar entails sweetness. Please, if you've not yet muted your mic, please, I'd ask you to please mute your mic. Would like to have less interruptions. So if you've not muted your mic, please mute your mic. And I'll also, Ifeduba, I think I'm going to make you the host, so you can admit people or mute people as the case may be. Thank you. Just so that we can focus and use the time to hit the nail at the head. So what makes up, okay, as I was saying, what makes us up? Sweetness. What does it mean to be sweet? You know, as opposed to what it means to be great. What it means to be sweet is who you are. Is that thing that adds pleasant taste to anything, to yourself and to your environment. So what does who you are, what does it entail? It talks about your character as a woman. It talks about the virtues that you have, that the virtues that you exude. It talks about the qualities, you know, that make your inner being. Those qualities that make you who you are. It talks about good nature. It talks about substance. It talks about being relational. So when you talk about your sweet part, sweetness, it's talking about your attitude, your behavior, your speech, your personality, your dressing, if you also. So as there's something about a woman, when you look at a girl, there's something about her that just makes her special. You know, people just, when a girl just walks in, there's just something in the air. You see innocence, you see vulnerability, and then people are kind of drawn. That's the normal reaction to a girl walking into the room, is to protect this person, to to save her, to protect her, to guard her. And there's that charm, there's that thing we exude as women. God gave us that quality. Is what is known as femininity. That's actually what gave us that quality, something different. So a man can be there, but when you see a man and a woman, you know there's a difference. There's a substance that makes us stand out, you know. So when we now look on the other side and we're looking at greatness, what does it entail? It entails value. It entails fulfillment, you know, doing. It entails what you do. So in the other part of sweetness, it's talking about who you are. Then when it comes to greatness, what you do comes to play. And what you do has a lot to do with your mindset, your ability, your skills, your strengths, your results. What kind of person, how do you translate those things how do you translate your attitude into abilities? How do you move who you are into what you do? For instance, if you talk about if there are qualities that, you know, make you stand out, people know you about something. That quality is what makes you do the things that people see, and then they're able to say, this person has this quality. So the qualities now make you do what you're doing. So sometimes some people set out to want to do some things, but they have not yet sorted out where those deeds come out from. The doing comes out of being. So you must first of all understand, who are you? What makes up your substance as a person? So it has a lot to do with character. And there's a whole in the chapter 2 of my book, because like I said, every day of this program is kind of like reflecting a chapter in the book. So I designed this program around the concepts within the book. So each chapter represents a day. So this is a chapter 2, and we're discussing, this is day 2, chapter 2, the formulation. So in that chapter, I talked extensively about the things that make up your character. So there's a law, there are 42 virtues we, expanded on. So a lot of things, those things that make you who you are, those things that make you a woman that stands out. Somebody can see you as this is someone that is special. This is a woman that has character, that has virtue, that has faith, that has a good nature and all that. So it's very, very, very Chinwe, please mute your mic. Please mute. Ifeduba, please mute everybody who is. We'd like to really have, when you're coming in, please come in muted. Thank you. Okay, so when people look at you, what's that thing that makes them say, this girl stands out? It has to do a lot with your attitudes. It has to do a lot with your behavior. It has a lot to do with how you speak, how you carry yourself. There's something about a woman of substance, and that's what sweetness is about, being a woman of substance. And then there's something about a woman, of influence, which is what greatness is about. So you shouldn't have all these things and just keep it to yourself, or you just have your own space and you're just nice for yourself. No, that niceness, that goodness, that being must be translated into doing. And it's in the doing that your greatness, that influence is expressed. Your influence is expressed. So sweetness talks about relation, being relational, that quality that can make you relational. But greatness talks about the qualities that makes you functional in society. What kind of person are you? Do you add value when you come into a group, when you come into any space? Do you add value or do you collect value? So these are the things that make you you. That's the recipe. Those two parts. In my book, I called it two sides of one same coin, working hand in hand. It's not something you would do one and you say you leave the other. So I find out that there are some women who are, nice and everything when you see them, but they're as dumb as a doorknob. There's nothing they bring to the table. That's nothing. And so it's a cause, it's of concern. It was of great concern to me. And I know there's nobody on this earth that does not have value to bring to the table. Nobody, no matter what your personality is, you are able to build your personality. Remember what I said, build and balance your personality to be able to achieve the things that you aspire to achieve. If you don't build it, if you don't balance it, you'll just be tilted a little bit. So there won't be that perfect synchrony and that balance that makes women of substance and influence stand out. So you see a lot of women. I got disconnected again. So I hope we can all hear. I don't know if we can all hear. I hope we can. So, there's something. Okay, thank you. There's something that makes special women stand out. And when you see those special women, these women are not harsh. That's one thing you notice. You see some women, they feel if I need to achieve, then I need to be nasty. I need to be, So you see those women, they're achieving, they're growing, but they're nasty to be near, just to be around them. That's not the plan. That's not the model. That's not what God had in plan. You can be achieving, but the way you achieve it is using those qualities. You achieve it in that sweet way. So you find I've talked about the other side where they are sweet and everything, but there's nothing they are bringing to the table. So we're not saying you should be one or the other. No, those two can actually work together. The idea is that there's something I'm supposed to achieve. How I achieve it has to do with your unique makeup. So some of us feel to achieve, we must achieve like men. It's not true. If you want to achieve, be a woman of substance, you achieve as a woman. There's a way to achieve as a woman. And that's the whole idea of sugar and spice. So the mind picture I want you to go out of this session with is that there's a building. Think about a building. A building has a foundation. And the foundation is important for that building. I must say that foundations are important to buildings. But if you have a foundation without a building, what use is the foundation? So I keep asking people, okay, if I've built a solid foundation, I've built character, I've built all that. Is that all? Where is the building this foundation is supposed to carry? So that's where greatness comes in. Don't go and try to achieve greatness when you've not built a quality foundation of character, because you're going to crash at a point. But what we must do as women is that we start from the beginning and building that foundation, building those qualities, building that character, building virtue, and then you set out boldly and confidently to achieve those things you're supposed to achieve. And always remember that you achieve it with your unique qualities. Don't try to be something where you're not. Don't try to be a man. Don't try to be something else. Don't try to be harsh. There's a way. We have a lot of influence. And remember, there's a word I used called charm. Every woman has it. When you know how to use it positively, you'll be able to achieve results. You'll be able to advance. And then you, without compromising your personality as a woman, you still advance. You still aspire and achieve all your aspirations and fulfill your destiny, fulfill your heart desires. There's so many people I know who are in this room. People have talked to you. There are things burning in your heart you want to do, but you don't know how to start because you feel maybe I will change, or something about me will change if on the journey to achieve this. No, you need to look in and understand, who you are, and understand that with the virtues that you have, you can achieve. So we have a few minutes. I think we have like about 15 minutes, I think, for this session to end. So this is interaction time. I don't know if anybody has a question, or you have a thought, or you have something we can now talk through just to get some understanding. Because like I said, these sessions are short and sharp. I'm not interested in saying a lot. I'm not interested because these things are things we already know. But we need the mentorship sessions is for you to see things in a way that you've not seen before, so that you can, because once there's revelation, I think I talked about it in the intro. Once something is clear, it's easier to run with it than when you're not sure. So clarity gives you confidence to get into the journey, So Chinwe is asking, how do you spot or know the charm you have as a woman? How do you spot or know it? You already have charm. You don't need to spot it. What you need to do is bring it out. Do you know that if you get into a room where a lot of guys are, and you just say, please, can you help me carry this chair? The men will tumble over themselves to help you. Just a woman walking into a room is charm enough. True. For a normal human man, once just check it. Sometimes you do it when you just walk into a room, you see that heads turn, right? Men will just turn to look at this lady again. It's charm. That's charm at work. So the spotting it is there. As a woman is there. So what you now do is bring it out more, package it more. So somebody is talking about smile. I know a lot of women, when you see them too, you need to use a wrench to wrench out a smile out of them. No, when you walk into somewhere, walk in smiling. Enter the place smiling. So can you say a person's smile is her charm? Of course. Just think about it. If you see a smiling person and you see a boning person, which one attracts you more? Which one are you more attracted to? Or which one draws you more? So it's normal. These are normal human, behaviors, human responses to things in general. A woman's beauty, a woman's makeup, the way God made us up, made us to turn heads. That's charm. That's charm. So you don't need to spot it. As a woman, you have it. Even guys too, sometimes they have it. There's something about us when you exude charisma, something that people see that makes people notice you. That's charm. Something that has like permit me to use the word overpowering. So it shifts when you talk about charm, it shifts the dynamics of the space or the environment. There's something that changes, when that thing comes. So that's it, charm. You can actually notch up your charm to an extent. The way you talk, if you talk with respect, if you talk you talk gently and you talk harshly, you know which one will work out as charm and which one won't. you know. So that thing that attracts people, that thing that draws people, that's what it is. So who else has a contribution, a comment? Our time is ticking. We have 12 minutes. Our time is ticking. You know, so as we're okay, all right, so great. Somebody smile, like Chinwe, I know your smile. Your smile, I told you you can actually wake the dead. You are a nurse, so you work in a hospital. Just check, just test it out. Maybe if you've not noticed it before. When you walk into the room smiling, and when you walk into the room not smiling, just check the reactions of the people that you meet every day. So it's different. It's unique, you know. So let me just read from my book while we're waiting for comments, or if there's anybody that has anything to say. So in other words, every woman's sweetness lies in her femininity, enhanced by Christ-like character. So I must call out that character being is not apart from your creator, who your creator has made you. So that's going back to the creator's design. So to build character, you need that factor to come into the equation. That factor has to come in, because that's what transforms you inside out. And then when that transformation happens inside out, it starts happening outwardly. So it happens inside, then it starts happening outwardly. So your sweetness lies in your femininity, enhanced by Christ-like character, and your greatness lies in your ability to harness and positively channel your unique traits and godly influence for the good of others. So that sweetness in femininity and greatness in womanhood is well worth discovering and developing. So everything I've written in the book, everything we're going to be sharing in this series is going to help you discover and develop what you have already. Not something you need to go and get from anywhere, but something you already possess. So some of us are born sweet, but as dumb as a doorknob. That's what I wrote in my book, dumbbell. Some of us have cultivated greatness, but have become hard as stone. So you see, there are great women who are not good to be around. I said that before. So the plan is not to have one or the other, but to have both sides displayed like two sides of a coin, complementing parts of one solid design. If that dual essence is not discovered and developed early, it could be challenging handling life's circumstances, managing relationships, achieving success in your endeavors. For mine, it was not a smooth journey. I had to struggle. I had to find my own, find my own, that uniqueness, and know how to bring it out, but I learned my lessons, observed firsthand the purpose behind God's design of woman and the principles behind the evolution from a girl to a woman. We're going to look at that later. So you see how you evolve and see how those qualities kind of like evolve as we evolve. Sometimes we drop some things as we are evolving across the seasons of our life. No, there's a way to, spike it up. There's a way to take up those qualities you've developed at one season in your life and translate it to the next season in your life. So we're going to be learning that, in the subsequent sessions. So, this book, this whole stuff is talking about my life, yes, but reflecting the lives of any woman. Any woman, it can reflect the life of any woman whatsoever, So all these things I'm going to be sharing is based on my discovery of my femininity and how I embraced, the unique traits of womanhood and deployed them, So I learned to embrace my femininity, and it has been, delivering results. So someone said, meeting is going to end in 10 minutes. So if you seem to be nice and charming and you react to something, does it not make me to be perceived wrongly? So that means you now have to know how to respond. So don't react, respond. Somebody is talking about reaction. Reaction is when you act according to what someone has done. But response is when you act according to what you decide to do, despite the circumstance. So there are two different things. So yes, you might be perceived wrongly, yes, because that is out of character. They know you as being nice, but But there are things that make you angry. So what you might be asking is, then how do I express it? There's a way to express anger without being perceived wrongly. There's a way to do it. These are the things you're going to learn. So how can one improve her smile, uniqueness? I'm faulting in this. I know it's as a result of upbringing. Yes, you can develop, anybody can develop. I, for one, I was a recluse. I like to stay indoors. I don't talk to people. I don't relate. I learned how to be relational from scratch. There's nothing you can't learn. There's no skill you can't adopt. There's nothing. So you need to be self-aware. You need to be self-conscious. You need to know. You need to check yourself. Don't just live your life and just everything by chance. No, there's a way to check. There's a way to know how do people respond to you, or how do you respond to people, or how do you react, as the case may be. So these are things, there are some ways to do that. So we're going to be looking at it if time permits, but we still have sessions, we have questions that will help you. Then we have further sessions that can help you drill down and understand the particular actions or the particular ways to sort out things, step by step. So if you're interested in getting in, drilling down, one-on-one coaching into getting, so there's a program, there are coaching parts of this whole program where you can get the step-by-step tips, and then you can be monitored to see your progress. And so you said there are ladies with high-pitched voice, and sometimes when they speak, it feels like they are rude, but in actual sense, they are not. What do they do in order to not to be misunderstood? Same thing. Your voice, see, everything in your life you can change. You can find a way to lower. There's a way. There is a way for everything. Sometimes some people say, this is the way I am. That's the way God made me. So I can't change. If you have that mindset already, you have already started to fail because you feel you can't change. No. Even if we're not saying you should change, we're saying you should refine. So define yourself, refine yourself. That's what this whole course is about. When you understand who you are, when you understand your makeup, when you understand that everything, there's a way to, there's who you are, which is the definition of you. And when you understand who you are, when you define yourself, you're able to know how to refine yourself. You will know where those nuances are that you need to tighten and all that. So if you, for instance, if you see a piece of diamond, the diamond does not have to change. That piece of diamond, you see it on the ground, it's rough. It's not looking like anything anybody likes to use. But the qualities of that diamond is inside it. But when you carry it and put it on the table, it doesn't look beautiful to behold. But someone who knows what is inside there is now able to take that block of diamond and then refine it, polish it, cut it. So you see, when you're cutting, polishing, and they now set you on a ring, then people will now be looking for you to buy. But the diamond can be lying on the road, nobody will notice it. So that's the thing about refinement. So when you start out, it looks like everything about you is brash, terrible, and no, there's a way to do it. So you can package yourself, you can refine yourself. So you see, for instance, in my book, a lot of people say, is this you? Is this you? This is tushed up, dolled up me. That means as a woman, you should be able to package. You should be able to know how to come out. There's something I said I would say in this session, which I need to capture now. There's no second chance to make a first impression. Always put your best foot forward. Let me say that again. There's no second chance to make a first impression. Always put your best foot forward. Always put your best foot forward. There's no second chance to make a first impression. So always tell yourself, how do you want to be perceived in any situation? Then get ready for it without losing your authenticity, without losing your personality. When you talk about packaging, packaging doesn't change the content, the substance inside. Packaging is just for people to notice what is in. So if someone develops a cure for it and never packages it, never sells it, never brings it out where people can know that this is the value this thing has, it might never sell. That's why there's marketing. Marketing is one of the multi-billion-dollar industry because people need to see that there's this value. So create value, package it, bring it out. Without that, you might not be able to express all the things that you have within you. So I think I have covered enough. I've not seen any comments come up. So it's great to connect with you guys this evening. We're going to have another session tomorrow, like we said, Thursdays and Fridays. This meeting is going to come to an end anytime from now, but we can hook up on the WhatsApp platform. You can ask any question. You can get your responses. This whole month, I'm going to make myself as available as possible, you know, to get you into that mode that you were created to be in, to get you into that woman, to make you that woman that you were created to be. You are created, if we just understand who we are, we will just be glad to be women. We will not even be fighting anybody to be anybody else. We will really want to be women. Let's be women of virtue. Let's be women of value. Let's be women of substance. Let's be women of influence. There's a way to influence things without having to be all over the place, scattering everything, shouting. No, we are created to be sweet and to be great. So exude your sweetness. Exude your sweetness wherever you go. You're a woman of virtue. Exude virtue. Then bring value wherever you are. Very, very key. Don't ever forget that. Every time you get into something or somewhere, ask yourself, what value am I bringing here? And then don't come and say you want to come and bring value when you don't necessarily haven't built value. So you build value and then you bring value. So you must build value. You must know what you have, and then you must build what you have so you can bring it to the world. So what Chinwe is saying, on my way to exuding sweetness. Yes, great. Please do, every one of you. The world can do with some sweetness. The world can do with some, there are things you're going to invent, things you're going to change, communities you're going to build, you know, families you're going to raise. Just think about all those great things women are doing. You are one great woman on her way to greatness. So don't look down on yourself. Just put in the work. When you see someone doing something you want to do, all you need to do is find out from that person, what did they do? And then make up your mind, make the commitment. It's not going to be easy, you know, it's not going to be easy, but make up your mind to do what they do. So someone is asking how to get last week's audio. Some of us were not here. So I'm putting together those audios in packages, but we're going to send it to you at a small fee. So you request for it and it will be sent to you at a fee. But we're packaging it. Like I said, we need to package things. So we're going to put it together and then send you the video on request. So if you request for it, it will be sent to you. So we have the intro video, we have the foundation video, that's video 1, and then we have today's video. So they'll all be made available and you'll get information on how to get them. I hope we had a good evening. I hope we had a good time. I hope we learned something new. I always want us, you know, when I come into this session, I always want it to be power-packed. You know, it doesn't have to be too long, but let it be impactful. And I'm sure from the comments that it was impactful, insightful, and just keep on being the best that God has made you. Bye, everyone. So we have 1 minute. See you later, everyone. See you tomorrow. Invite people. It's still open. Let them register and let them join the free mentorship class. So make sure you get your friends to register. Please invite more people. Invite a lot of people. Spread it around. If it impacted you, then let someone benefit from it. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Love you all.